Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 31 of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. And we've got myself, John, and we've got...
Bobby Platano.
we haven't done this for 31 weeks, apparently. We've got Poppy Platano. Yes, he is. And we've got...
I am the notorious one. I am Dom. Boom.
There he is. And a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world of professional wrestling, but mostly focused on one singular individual. And that individual's name is CM Punk. Yeah.
Also known as Phil Brooks.
Oh, boy.
Phil Brooks.
Right now, he's Phil Brooks.
Sadly. Yeah, that's all we got right
No,
now.
no. Well, okay, we're joking a little bit, but he's still CM Punk. I'm sure he owns the name in some way, shape, or form. Maybe.
He's
We
no
don't know.
longer a chick magnet. This guy, he's a controversial man.
Very good. Very
good, sir. Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo. Very nice.
Good job, boss. Good job,
Yeah.
boss. Yeah.
Tell us more, boss.
Let's take it back to 2011. This guy, he aired out his grievances on Monday Night Raw after a match with John Cena. After John Cena had a match against, who was it, R-Truth? I believe it was R-Truth on
That
that.
was so long ago, I can't tell you.
Wasn't the Miz? No. Actually, no, I'm confused. CM Punk and John Cena had a match, and that's when the Nexus interfered.
Yes.
Yeah, nah.
So never mind
we,
that.
We talking about when
Memories.
the pipe bomb.
No,
bomb.
wasn't
Yeah.
The Rock there? I guess he made an appearance, and then Punk interfered at the end.
I'm pretty sure. I know Cena went through a table and the match ended like that, and then and that's when CM Punk came out in a Stone Cold T-shirt.
We're going to have the fans tell us,
And,
hey, we know what was there.
Yeah. All right. Long story short, he aired out his grievances.
Yeah.
All the stuff he was feeling towards the company, whatever, and
It's filling.
the pipe bomb. It was a start. That was it.
The Big Bang starts with a boom. That's CM Punk's pipe bomb.
And that was
Seriously.
boom.
Seriously, that's what started. Punk became the voice of the voiceless. He received a title match against John Cena. Contract is getting ready to expire. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know if he's going to leave, if he's going to stay. But, the show was in Chicago. Money in the Bank, one of the hottest Money in the Banks of all time.
Probably one of my favorite Money in the Banks of all time. Hands down. If not, top two.
What's the other one?
That's what I'm saying. I can't figure out a better one, but
Let's list all the Money in the Bank competitors over the years. Tyson Kidd, Ted DiBiase, Maurice tried to climb the ladder once.
Are you talking about Money in the Bank, the show, or Money
the
in the
show
Bank?
itself.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't
not,
matter
not
what we're
the
talking
not the
about.
actual
Yeah, I'm about to
match.
say, what are you talking about?
You got so many damn Money in the
Well, you got the
Bank.
pay-per-view, and I'm talking about the competitors in the actual match at select pay-per-views over the years, because there's been so many, and when they do those flashback video packages and they show people who have been in a Money in the Bank match, I mean, of course, I remember, we all kind of remember the early ones because there's only once a year, but then, they started doing two, and then it just became a mess, but it's really, Ted DiBiase Jr. was in one of those things. Sin Cara was in one of those things, and
That was the same one, I think. He went through the ladder, I want to say.
then Sheamus went through, he got smashed through like a wooden ladder or something, and then he came back the next year with a weird-ass haircut.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyways, that Money in the Bank match against John Cena, man, that match was amazing whatsoever, man. It went, almost a half hour?
The way
And then-
the way that story went was beautiful. Though.
John, what's your Will Smith movie, 6 Degrees Separation?
60 Degrees of... That's not the movie. But...
Anyways, in the front row, it had Colt Cabana,
Ugh,
it had Ace Steel,
Oh boy.
right.
so it's all going to come full circle in the world of CM Punk. But CM Punk won the title. Nobody knew. He resigned the contract. And then he showed up, the next day?
2 weeks later.
2 weeks, yeah.
Was it 2 weeks later?
Yeah.
2 weeks later.
Excuse me. 2
Because
weeks later, and then they
Vince
he
went.
held the title
Yep.
and
Yeah,
battled the champions.
CM Punk won the championship from John Cena in Chicago in front of a rabid crowd, and it's weird to think that if you watch that match back, there is no cult of personality. It's his original Kill Switch Engage theme song. Which is
Fire
still,
burns. I love that
What
song.
Randy Orton wanted to be.
Still a banger.
It was.
And, he, of course, he wins the title and he, blows the kiss at whatever camera I'm looking at here. He blows a kiss to the camera and then he runs away with the WWE title. And they had no WWE champion. So they had this weird tournament on Raw that ended up with
Rey Mysterio.
Rey
winning.
Mysterio winning.
Rey Mysterio being The Miz, and then John Cena beating Rey Mysterio later that night. What an asshole! And and then at the end of that show, CM Punk came out and they had a belt to belt, and that was a hot angle at the time, and it led to better things for CM Punk down the road. But from Money in the Bank, 2 weeks after Money in the Bank in July, to like November of that year, it was a bunch of crap. I mean, they threw Kevin Nash in there. They threw Alberto Del Rio in there. It's like, what the hell? How did they mess up this easy-ass storyline? Well, guess what they did?
Excuse me.
I know, it makes me sick as well. So, when at the 2011 Survivor Series, CM Punk won the WWE title from Alberto Del Rio in a really great match. And the next night on Raw, he did an interview or something like that where he said, the era of the hot potato of the WWE title is over. And that led to CM Punk's record title reign.
434 days.
Take that, Roman Reigns.
But you know what? Let's acknowledge him.
God damn it.
It's a straight edge show, and I got some Pepsi product. Since we're going straight edge for the show today, you might see me throw a couple waters back.
It's no Pitch Black, but it's Mountain Dew, baby.
Yeah.
He caught me.
Oh, yeah.
Lord.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord.
Kids are back in school. Dom's getting sick from the kiddies again.
Definitely not.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
Make sure you...
Need some liquor in my system. This damn straight edge episode.
There is something to that. If you're drinking and you stop cold turkey, weird things might happen.
All right. CM Punk, 434 days.
That's right.
He fought everybody at that time. And then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson popped back up.
Yes.
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Won the title at Royal Rumble.
That's right.
Punk was pissed.
I would be too.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo,
Oh, boy.
coughing.
For
All of a
audio
sudden.
listeners, oh my goodness, no wonder you wanted some more beverages, pal.
Oh, Lord.
But yes, CM Punk had a record title reign, but he was not the focal point of WWE at the time and that's what kind of irked CM Punk. Probably gave him that extra motivation to be a jerk, honestly. And it came to a point, I think it was Hell in the Cell or some pay-per-view where he went up against Ryback, and Ryback was the hottest thing going at that time, and he was so hot as a contender and a human being. And they had to make a BS finish by inserting Brad Maddox as like the special referee to give him a low blow or some bullshit. Oh my God, it was ridiculous. They should.
Hold on. Isn't that when the Shield debuted?
No, that was 2 months later.
Oh, all right.
I
But
could have sworn they showed up.
no, the Shield have made their WWE debut at the Survivor Series. I don't know. I don't think CM Punk faced Ryback. There might have been Ryback and John Cena in a triple threat or something like that.
Wasn't CM Punk the champion at the time when he was going against Ryback during his winning streak, Ryback? And then that's when...
Yeah, that's when the Shield came out.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Roman
So maybe they did
Reigns.
face that Survivor Series, but that wasn't their first meeting when the Shield debuted. But anyway, the CM Punk helped the Shield debut. Fun fact that he didn't want Roman Reigns as a member of the Shield. He preferred Cassius Ohno, who's your hero, Chris Hero,
It wouldn't have worked.
that young knockout kid.
Yeah, I love Chris Hero, but that wouldn't have worked in the Shield.
Hell no.
You don't know. I mean, if Chris Hero was still skinny, it might have worked.
That's why they wore black. Make you look skinny.
Look at this.
So look at this.
Hey-o! Hey-o! It's party time. All the time. But yes, CM Punk went to the Royal Rumble 2013. Lost it to the Slammin' Jammin' People's Champion, The Rock. And they had a follow-up match next month at No Way Out, or whatever the hell that February pay-per-view is called. And The Rock retained the title, and it went to WrestleMania 29 at MetLife Stadium. And you could argue that the main event really was CM Punk and The Undertaker. Yes. And they could have main event. I thought they were going to.
They should have.
Yeah.
And they should have. The Rock and Cena Part 2. The match itself, The Rock got injured early on, and it just wasn't as magical as the first one in Miami. So in retrospect, CM Punk and The Undertaker should have main evented the show, which is what CM Punk would have wanted. And if that had happened, maybe he wouldn't have quit WWE, and then it wouldn't have led to the...
That was an amazing
Mess we
match
have
between CM Punk and The Undertaker. Like,
Oh, yeah.
everything Punk was doing at that time, it was main event material right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And But he still never main evented a WrestleMania, main event being the final match of the card, and that stuck in the craw of CM Punk for the rest of his life till right now.
Yeah. The Miz main evented
That,
over him.
That's what really set him off back in 2011.
That would too for me.
I
But
mean,
you think about, like you said, a guy like The Undertaker, that's a main event no matter where you put him in the card. Beginning, middle, end.
I think Batista would agree with you.
Yes.
There's only 2 matches: the opening match and your main event match. Those are the 2 that really mean something. Everything else is in between.
But when you add Undertaker to WrestleMania, it doesn't matter where you have it. You're in a main event. So I can't agree with him when he says he wasn't a main event. In the main event, he was in the main event of that year. It's just it wasn't
He just want to be that last match.
I mean, if you're really particular about something, this is gonna be on your mind forever. And for a guy like CM Punk, it would bother him, and it has, and that's who it made CM Punk who he is today. And you can see it through his actions as we eventually jump forward to his time in AEW. But yeah, I think you look back at one moment in time. It doesn't matter if it's wrestling or just real actual history. There's always one moment in time that led a person not necessarily to become evil, but to become evil like CM Punk would become.
your eyes, dear Hogan. I see you with Elizabeth. I'm gonna get you.
Well, he was cupping her ass.
Yeah,
at
you don't do
SummerSlam.
that. Don't be touching my wife's ass like that. Well, they were divorcing.
No,
they're still together.
Yeah,
Okay.
They're still mega powering it.
That's it. All right, let's fast forward almost a year later to the Royal Rumble 2014. Didn't Roman won that one?
Ye-
2014?
No.
Batista.
Batista, okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was Punk last match in WWE.
Who do you have a match of that year?
Nobody, he was just in the Rumble match, wasn't he?
What in the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Was he in the Royal?
No, he was in the Royal Rumble match, and he was last eliminated by the Big Red Machine, Kane.
Wow.
Corporate Kane, that is.
Yes, and then the next night in, I want to say Cleveland, he
Hometown of the Miz.
even
Hometown of The Miz.
another reason not to show up.
he had enough. He was in pain. Supposedly he had what was it, like a cyst or like a bulging disc or something like that in his back, whatever. And
Poop in his pants.
pooping his pants, and
Yeah.
Oh,
they
nah.
want to give him time off. That was basically it. And then just like Stone Cold, he took his ball and went home. That was it.
Stone Cold took his bald and went home. Anyway,
Terrible.
terrible.
What, 6
Let's move
months
on.
later, he's about to get married to AJ Lee. Next, he received a FedEx
Day of the wedding. I think
the
at
day
the wedding.
of the wedding.
Yeah, the day of at the wedding. He's like, you're fired.
Won't be the first time.
That's
he got
fucked
fired
up.
by 2 top bosses. Tony Khan and Vince McMahon, that is. But 7 years later, he made his return in Chicago, August 20th, 2021. And before then, in 2018, him and Tony Khan started talking. They wanted him. He was like, "Nah, I'm good right now." But then, he started watching, started seeing a couple of his boys in there and whatnot. And then he's shot Tony Khan a few texts and whatnot. You should do this. You should do this. You want to come back? Nah, I'm good. And then in 2020,
I want to say
2020,
Pandemic?
conversations got heavy.
That was
then-
prior to the pandemic?
Then the pandemic happened,
Oof.
stopped everything.
So we probably could have possibly had CM Punk in 2020 and not 2021 or 20
Yeah, 2020, he could have came back.
a
Could
year,
have.
year and a half.
Could have.
It's a pandemic. It messed up lots of things.
It did. It messed up.
You got to bring CM Punk back in front of a live audience. You don't want to just
Yeah.
have Kip Saban in the front row, whatnot.
Yeah, that's sad too because during that time, that's when Brody Lee and Matt Hardy double debuted, and because the crowd wasn't there, you didn't feel that reaction that you would have like when CM Punk came in. So it really messed
It was
up a
crazy
lot of
because
things.
Brody, he was supposed to debut at Blood and Guts, and where's he from? Jersey? That's where I think that was.
New York.
Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. So it was gonna be in that area. That'd have been perfect, but that messed everything up. The Exalted One.
Everyone thought that the Exalted One was supposed to be Matt Hardy, and then it was a double swerve, bro.
Whose
didn't-
house?
Swerve. Oh, never mind. Wrong house.
Strap's house.
Yes, we're live from Strap's house.
That's right. All the way on the top floor. I need a drink myself.
Good boy.
Coffee.
Cream always rises to the top. Ooh, yeah, don't
does
do
dust.
that. Yeah, that does. Jeez.
Not just any dust, addict dust.
I thought you said angel dust.
But, CM Punk was... It's all about go. Go! CM Punk was one of the very first people Tony Khan and the Young Bucks thought of to join them in AEW, a big name, an unsigned former WWE star that they could sign to the roster. But at the time, AEW was a relative unknown, and if you're a big WWE fan right now, AEW is still a relative unknown. You sorry sons of guns. But CM Punk, he was always in the vision of Tony Khan.
Yes.
And so you can't say that Tony Khan ever had a vendetta against. I don't think anyone would say that. He was always a big fan of CM Punk. Always
Big
wanted him
fanboy.
around. And it's really sad how things have ended up.
It's one of those things where they say you don't meet your heroes, but we don't know what really went backstage and what went on, so we can't really comment and say what specifically was wrong.
You know what it's like? It's like in real life, maybe. You've come across this person, either someone you work with or someone you've met, an acquaintance, a friend of a friend, a friend of your significant other, something like that. In this situation, CM Punk, Phil Brooks, the person, and Tony Khan, the person. Tony Khan is not Vince McMahon. Tony
There
Khan.
you go. You
Yes.
just said it.
Yes.
Tony Khan is.
That's it. That's how you close the show.
All right. Good night, everybody. Tony Khan is not a bully. He's not a vicious person. He doesn't. I guess he doesn't fight back. I mean, whatever you want to say.
He's scared for his life.
Look at him. He's smaller than Leo Rush. Come on,
All right.
man.
Is he?
I don't know.
Oh boy.
But you know what? We said Tony Khan is a fanboy. That's what he really is.
Yeah.
I like you. I'm gonna do what's best for you. Whatever you want to do, let's work. You my EVP. Come on now. We're gonna do whatever you want to do. Vince McMahon, he's the boss.
Yeah.
You gonna listen to me. You got a problem? Squash it.
That's two different management styles.
Yeah.
And
It's
who's
okay.
to say which is the right one?
You
as
got so many
DOA
different,
drive-by.
yeah, so many different personalities, and you gotta basically learn how to manage. Like, it's something I'm actually starting to deal with now. I'm actually close to being in that management position where I'm looking at it. It's like, how do I freaking manage all these guys? Some guys are sensitive, more sensitive than others. Some that could take advice, that actually listen to the veterans. Some just don't give a fuck at all. Like, they think they already made it, and you haven't done shit. So,
I always count the moment in the show when we drop the first F-bombs and cuss words.
well, I'm always the number one.
There you go. 18 minutes, pal. But yeah, that is correct. But who's to say which is the correct style if you're having more of a let's get a consensus of the room management style versus I don't care what you think, I'm the boss. Who's to say which is correct or which is the right one in any given situation? As a person, as myself or as Dom or as Abel, we can each think which is the proper management style that we would appreciate or we would feel best led by.
Yes.
And because we're young guys, we're not old guys. We grew up in a certain generation. We grew up a certain way. We're used to the Vince McMahon style boss, where it's his way or the highway. We're used to that.
The only difference is, though, Vince will actually go out there and do everything you do to show that, hey, if I can do it, your ass better be able to do it too.
Yeah.
Not too many bosses are like that. It's always you do this. That's a boss.
Are you saying Tony Khan would not zip line down the Arrowhead Pond to the ring?
I wouldn't do that.
He probably wouldn't. You're right.
What's the saying they say? Too many cooks in the kitchen, something like that.
Yeah.
Too many.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, or too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
That's
He
it.
said it.
See, you talking about Indians, TBS, Atlanta Braves, Ted Turner,
I'm thinking about you.
WCW. There you go.
Go on, Nate.
Eric Bischoff was a fanboy as well.
Oh boy.
Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin
Right,
Nash,
right.
Lex Luger, Bill Goldberg. They all had creative control, just like Matt Jackson,
Right.
Nick Jackson,
Do
Kenny
they?
Omega.
Right.
They have full control over their characters?
More or less, I would say so. I think this is
Too many cooks.
This was a very early proverbial topic on the show that I don't think we ever got to, but it just just talking about this exact thing, the management style or the overall style of AEW versus WWE, where in AEW it's more of a collaborative effort,
Yeah.
and versus WWE style where is one person's in charge.
It harkens back to that old WCW committee crap that they had back in the day where
Bill
The
Watts.
executive committee.
Yeah.
Bill Watts.
No, Bill Watts was he was basically like
Well, yeah,
like
he's-
Vince. Like it's my way or the highway.
As it should be. The product sucked at that time, but come on, man. You got to keep these guys in line. You got to not let them control. All right,
Oh, yeah.
so I was listening to Bully Ray earlier today, and on Busted Open Radio, he basically said,
BO.
you have Dustin Rhodes, you have
Billy Gunn.
Jake the Snake, you have Billy Gunn,
Yep.
you have
Jerry Lynn.
Dean Malenko, you have Jerry Lynn. Why can't one of them guys,
Be had,
talent relations? Hell, you got JR.
I don't think JR wants to do it anymore though.
I'm just saying,
What
you
if-
have all these great minds. Like, why you just can't have like one guy just be in control
Well,
of?
Christopher Daniels is the head of talent relations.
And he couldn't go to Collision
That's-
because of CM Punk.
That's the problem though. You can't be a boss and friends with somebody. You gotta. I've talked to my old supervisor too. It's like, bro, when we go in, you're the supervisor. I'm the employee. If I fuck up, I expect you to fucking tell me where I fuck up. I don't want to hear this fucking friendship bullshit when we're on the clock.
How
That
do you,
shit goes out the window for me.
how do you build Collision based around CM Punk just so you can keep away from Hangman and
No.
the Bucks and all them?
You
Like,
can't.
how you do that? How you got the guy who's in control of talent relations, Christopher Daniels, had beef with CM Punk and he can't even be at the show on Saturday nights? Like, how?
Yeah,
it don't work like that.
No, it don't.
Are you guys familiar with the story of Jay Leno on the Tonight Show and Conan O'Brien when
No.
he became the host of the Tonight Show?
No.
You do know the Tonight Show though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I'll try to do this as quickly as I can.
Take your time.
Yeah,
We're in no rush.
yeah.
Jay Leno was the host of the Tonight Show for a very long time, and that was at 11:30, and it went for an hour. And Conan O'Brien did late night on NBC from 12:30 onward. And at a certain point in time, there was an agreement that Jay Leno would step down, and Conan O'Brien would take his spot as host of the Tonight Show. But Jay Leno was still bringing the ratings, a big star, right? So NBC, they kept extending his deal. Basically, Jay Leno would not go away. But why did he need to go away? He was still bringing ratings, right? But you have this young guy, Conan O'Brien. It's like, all right, you need a new blood, new generation coming in. And eventually they made a deal that in 2009, Jay Leno would leave the Tonight Show and give it to Conan O'Brien. At that point, it was 5 years. They gave him 5 years. Jay Leno, you have the Tonight Show for 5 more years. And then you have to leave somewhere, and Conan will step up. But what had happened was Jay Leno's ratings stayed high. And when it came time to switch, the kind of like the Bret Hart Survivor Series thing in a time-honored tradition, Jay Leno should have stepped down, gave the reins to Conan, and Conan be the host of the Tonight Show, and everybody's happy, right? That's not what happened. NBC, because they were, money-hungry corporate guys, they said, hey, Jay Leno, we'll give you a show at 10 p.m. for 1 hour. Basically do your show, The Tonight Show, at 10 o'clock. Conan will be at 11:30, and do that. And, Conan kept his mouth shut. He was like, okay. But if you really think about it, that's just such a dumb move. How are you going to have The Tonight Show, minus the name, before The Tonight Show?
Yeah.
So, what also happened, Jay Leno's ratings tanked. Conan O'Brien, as the new host of The Tonight Show, his ratings were not that good. So NBC decided, let's move Jay Leno back to 11:30 for a half hour. Conan, you're back at 12:05.
Wow.
At 12:05, guess what? It's the Tomorrow Show. Okay? That is when, if you guys didn't know this, that's when Conan O'Brien quit the Tonight Show, said, this is stupid. I refuse to do this. And, Conan O'Brien, he left the Tonight Show, left his big money contract, left his hopes and dreams his whole life to be host of the Tonight Show since he was a little kid. And Jay Leno was the bad guy, What's the right thing there? Like, what was the right move? Who was right or who was wrong? Was Jay Leno right? He was right in the sense that, why'd you take me off the air? I was still successful. That's his point of view.
Yeah.
NBC was like, we didn't want you to go, but we felt his loyalty to this young guy, this new blood. We had to give him the spot. And as Conan felt, it's like, dude, I've been waiting. He's like Zack Ryder almost. He's just waiting in the wings, never getting that push. And it's like, he finally gets to the top, and then, boom, nothing, But, I don't know. Went on a long tangent here. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
Long story short.
No.
Should CM Punk still be in AEW?
Depending on what really went on backstage, I don't know, man.
Let's get into
what was the right thing? What was the right move?
let's get into the brawl out.
Yeah, but there's sometimes there's some employees or coworkers that you just want to when you see them, you just want to knock them the fuck out sometimes too for the dumb shit they pull. But then it's like, you're not gonna cost my fucking job and my living. Like, there's no way. I know we have different personalities, everyone, and different jobs that you all have to act differently, but cannot let someone young get to you, bro. You just gotta let that shit go. You gotta be the bigger man. You're the star. Let him talk all the shit he wants, because in the end, you're gonna end up building him up, and he ain't gonna do nothing for you.
But CM Punk is the voice of the voiceless, so he's gonna speak his mind.
I understand that.
And then if you got a problem with that, see him to his face. And that's what he did to all these dudes in the elite.
Yeah, he did. I give him that. He told
He
him
might
straight
suck
up.
in UFC, but he'll throw a punch.
Oh man,
real quick.
I hope not. I hope that's not what happened backstage.
So basically, the whole brawl out situation, the Young Bucks was hesitant to even have CM Punk on their roster, but Tony Khan knew it was best for business because Punk is the highest merch seller. He drew the largest gate in AEW history.
Now, on his return, they were hesitant to bring him back, or the first time he came in?
The first time.
But weren't they the ones advocating for him, too, in the beginning?
At first, yeah, but they had a feeling that he was a handful, whatever. But like I said, too many cooks in the kitchen.
If you're a star, you get that star treatment, and that's what Collision was. It was a star vehicle for CM Punk. And
sadly, that's how it is, bro.
Exactly, but that whole brawl out situation, whatever. I remember I was watching Dynamite. Hangman Page went into business for himself.
Yeah.
I have no idea where that shit stemmed from, but obviously there was stuff going on backstage at the time. And
I think I remember hearing, I guess there was a Comic-Con where Adam Page actually said that, I don't have to listen to anybody. I'm an EVP. I helped build this company.
Exactly. And he was talking shit about
how much money have you really drawn?
Not a damn thing.
You have not been on TV, actual TV yet. Just because you helped start a company doesn't mean you're helping build it up even more. The ratings were still going down. You were the champ, and I think, was it during the pandemic or a little bit after?
A little after, I want to say.
The ratings didn't go up much when you were the champ, bro. I hate to say it. I love the chase.
The chase was good, but when he had the title,
it did not
do anything for me anymore.
No.
I was like, whatever.
So you can't say you don't listen to veteran advice. Even to this day, I'm more the veteran at my spot, and I still ask for advice from other guys that are older than me that have done it before me. It's like, hey, I'm good at this, but what am I doing wrong? Not what I'm doing right. What am I doing wrong? Let me fix that. Because everyone can see when you're doing something right. All right, you keep doing that. But what are you doing wrong? Get the that rust off. Take that off. That way, the product's better. You're working better. People trust you more. You gotta think like that. You can't always think you have it. You got it down pat. You always gotta find a flaw you could fix.
If you want to get ahead in life, you want to be great, listen to your elders. Take whatever advice you could possibly get to better yourself.
Even if it might not work for you, still just, all right, I appreciate you going out your way for me. It doesn't work for me, but I'm gonna give it a shot. If it doesn't work, I got a different way I can go. That's all you got to do.
Exactly.
You don't need to just brush everybody off because you feel like you have it all together. I'm 35 years old. I still don't have it all together, and I'm still asking for advice, and it's working because I'm actually shutting the fuck up and listening. Throw back to a old thing. I had to bring that back. That will be a T-shirt.
Oh,
Shut the
man.
hell up and listen.
Oh
That's it.
my God, where are my gloves at?
All right.
We're the
Well-
chops.
Well, Hangman went on Dynamite, started talking trash out of nowhere, and then Punk basically said, "What did I ever do in the world to deserve an empty-handed fucking dumb fuck like Hangman Adam Page to go on national TV and go into fucking business for himself?" Everybody believed that because CM Punk is back, that Colt Cabana got demoted to Ring of Honor. It was all politics. Like, they just trying to, keep them dudes away from each other. It is what it is.
I think, like you said, like the way Vince would have handled that, the way Tony Khan handled that, Vince would have closed him, had him in the locker room. Hey, I know you guys got beef. Fix this shit right now. Shut it down. I don't give a shit what you guys are going through, because it's not gonna go on in my locker room.
Shit, you know who else had beef? But they create magic. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Them two ain't friends.
Really?
I mean,
You would never know just by the way
because they want to be the best, and only one can be the best. And yeah, you watched the American Nightmare documentary?
I did, but I don't remember really seeing that
Rewatch
part.
it. It's on Peacock.
Nah, move on. Watch the Kurt Angle one. Also,
I gotta
on
watch
Peacock.
that.
I need to watch that as well. But yeah,
I mean, you can also go with Brett and Sean. Those two guys.
exactly. Them too.
Those two guys made each other better.
And they weren't
Unfortunately,
friends either.
no. But that's when you really know you can really trust somebody. You're like, listen, I can't stand you, but we're about to make magic. Can I trust you not to fuck me up in the ring? Sure enough, they took care of each other. Two of the greats, two of the goats, Mount Rushmores. I don't give a shit what you call them. That's how you handle business.
Exactly. I do what's best for business.
You can't be selfish all the time. There's time and place, but in the ring, no need for that shit. All right, Dom.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
I know I'm really active today.
The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. So Punk goes on a rant eating his his donut at the press conference, whatever he was eating. Long story short, he went to the locker room and the Elite met him backstage. Fucking Punk started throwing hands with Matt Jackson. Ace Steel throws a chair at Nick Jackson. Started biting fucking Kenny and pulling his hair. Oh my God, it's like, what's going on? Like, first of all, I want to know who's leaking all this information. Like, why? Keep that shit backstage. Like, the fans don't need to know what's going on.
I've said it in the previous podcast. Do we know too much what's going on in the backstage on either company? There's some stuff I don't mind, but it's like that. Keep that behind closed doors, guys.
Yeah, like seriously, like why? What are you doing? You're just creating more attention, like bad,
You don't need
attention.
bad pub.
They don't need that right now.
And you're such a young company. Why would you want that? Like, whoever's doing that, they should be automatic fucking fired. Or just even throw a little cheese out there. That's what you need to do. Throw a little cheese. See if the rats fucking leak it out. And then, gone. That's how you do it, man. You want to get rid of the rats? Throw a little peanut butter in that fucking...
It's probably somebody who's not getting no shine. They try being on Dark or Elevation.
Oh, do better. Get your character up. Work on your promos.
Or start kissing ass to Tony Khan.
Not even that. Fucking actually listen to the guys that are the veterans. When fucking Christian Cage is in the ring talking about, hey, you need to work on this. You shut your ass up and go listen to that motherfucker. Dustin, just come on now. You got Mark Henry. Huh. You think I'm not going to take advice from those guys? Shit.
John, you're pretty quiet over there. Is the heat getting to you?
No,
It's
he's
so
just...
hot. I don't know.
Oh, this is very... Just getting to you, John.
John's an AEW guy, so he feels some type of way.
I'm an AEW guy too, but I'm getting tired of these guys being fucking babies, man.
All right, so let's go into All Out. Was it All Out in Wembley?
All in.
All in.
All Out, whatever. It doesn't matter.
All week.
Basically. I guess Jungle Boy wanted to do some spot with the car with real glass. Punk just said no, don't do it, whatever.
He's
Which
protect-
I have, you know.
I
come
would
on,
take that advice.
There's no need to. You could get killed. You pop an artery, whatever.
You see what happened with Goldberg when you fucking did that?
He ain't been the same since. But yeah, he trying to use some advice, and then you gonna say what you say. Cry me a river. Punk ain't having that.
No.
He's not having that. So that's why he get choked up. He did this right before his match. They was trying to move the match, you know, give Punk some time, whatever. But Tony Khan's afraid he was gonna walk out, and Samoa Joe had to break that shit up and calm him down. And I guess Punk had some words for Tony Khan, and this dude, I feel scared for my life. Like, man, grow some fucking balls, man. CM Punk's not gonna hurt you. If he really wanted to, he could have.
Well, that's right. He could have.
He could have.
Could have.
That's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Tony Khan's not used to anybody giving him a verbal lashing like that.
I mean, I would think he would. He helps run an NFL team.
His dad.
Over the what is it? The Premier League. That's a lot of freaking guys you gotta fucking manage, and a lot of different personalities. Not everyone's gonna be nice to you just because you're the boss.
Tony Khan will have a bad bone in his body. Hate to say it.
And why is that painted as a negative thing? Not every male.
Then you're gonna get to the situation you're at right now.
Yeah,
You're
but
gonna have guys just walk over. You gotta get a little edge. The most heelish thing he did was going to the Chicago crowd and start talking and say why he did what he did, whatever, because he felt unsafe. Like, man, grow some balls, man. Well, you know what?
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
You're suspended. Go home. Go home. Jack Perry suspended indefinitely, which we know he'll probably be back in like 2 months.
Yeah.
if I was a young person today, I would say that's a very hyper masculine way of looking at things.
Yes.
And
You gotta think
And
about the way
again,
society is now too.
you know, Abel says he's 35. I'm 38. You know, and we weren't, like I said, we're not old, but we're not young spring chickens either. And and this goes beyond wrestling now. There's a generation of people, the millennials, born after the millennium of the year 2000, and you can see it all across society now.
Yeah.
Like like we're talking about Vince McMahon and that style of management, that style of person, that idea of what a man is supposed to be. It can be considered a very antiquated, old style of thinking. The way Tony Khan is, for right or for wrong, it's a more modern way of thinking where you treat everyone nicely. You don't call people names. You don't physically assault people for no reason. You don't hit people. You know, that roughhousing, that kind of stuff was okay in a previous generation, in that toxic, over-masculine generation.
Vince never did that.
We're trying.
Is you serious?
In character.
Oh, come on
In
now.
character.
He tried to wrestle fucking Kurt Angle.
No. You just said on this show moments ago, it's like if you were in Vince McMahon's locker room, you know, he just slapped the fuck out of you for doing something wrong. That doesn't happen in Tony Khan's locker room because that's not the right way to be. Whether it shapes you into the right person or the wrong person, that style,
It doesn't work for
you know,
everybody.
it doesn't work nowadays. You can't make the same jokes as a comedian in 2023 that you could make in 2016.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
canceled real
2015.
quick.
Yes,
The
true.
year 2000. I'm watching this movie called Dodgeball, okay? I thought it came out around 2003. I thought it was freaking hilarious at the time.
Yep.
I watched it like within the last year. This movie will be canceled today, okay? It's just not the same society, and it's just not the same world we live in anymore. And like I said, it's not to say it's better or worse than the way it used to be. I mean, and, you know, you just turn on the news and you see stuff and you're like, so-and-so is doing this bad thing, and like they're 19 years old.
Yeah.
They're 23 years old. And so to say, oh, it's the younger people, they know how to handle themselves well. It's like, no, they don't.
They don't.
You know, I'm still surprised by that. It's like people, you know, literally half my age, they're doing terrible things. It's like, what's wrong with you? Aren't we a more open and inclusive society nowadays? Apparently not.
No.
You know, so something's still wrong out in the world.
How old's Tony Khan? Just
I
curious.
don't know.
I think he's
curious.
about our age,
I
close
don't
to
know.
40, 41 maybe.
But he's not
This one,
75.
Nah, I know he's not. I know he's not that old. I was just curious how much.
Who can you relate to more right now? Like,
But Tony Khan is basically in that same era where Vince first started WWE under his regime, where he was like 35 or 40-ish.
sure. So the
So-
Vince McMahon of the early 80s and late 70s and early 80s
Completely different.
Was a completely different person than he is today. And
If you
maybe
think-
for that era, he didn't do things right either.
No, he kind of, if you look back, he kind of was like Tony Khan in a way, because he had that one guy he fed everything to, Hulk. Hey, whatever you want, Hulk.
You heard?
Whatever you want.
You heard the story?
What story?
Hogan said on Seth Rogen's podcast.
Seth or Joe?
Seth, Joe, whoever, one of the Rogans. Anyways,
Quite a difference.
Yeah.
um,
I can't get that. Right.
Hogan was fired from the WWF for doing Rocky 3.
Yep, that was under Vincent
Yep.
K. McMahon
Yep.
Vince Senior.
Senior. And then Vince
Jr.
Jr. He signed Hogan because the old man.
Because he was in Rocky
He
3.
got sick. He was sick, whatever. And then Vince told him what he wanted to do. He wanted to take all the territories, and he did that with one man.
Yeah.
Boom, and it worked out. Man just did what he had to do. That was it. But you know, he was hungry at the time, and you see Vince pop up on what NWA TV, National Wrestling Alliance TV, whatever, and
Yeah.
World Championship Wrestling, all that. Mid Atlantic, he did that. He dominated the map, straight monopolized everything.
Okay.
But yeah, long story
And?
short is
Yeah.
like
Go on.
Yes, come on.
it's just one guy. He
Yeah.
just did what he had to do. Like
Right.
Triple H, he's gonna be in that same boat, but he's not gonna
He's not
be
gonna.
aggressive like how you say Vince was
Yeah.
back in the day, whatever.
Yeah.
No, I think Triple H understand, because he was one of the boys, how the locker room really works. The difference between Tony Khan and Vince, they never really were the boys. They may have directed the boys on what to do and how to go, but having Triple H actually being in that locker room, going on over the road with the guys and understanding what they go through, it's a little bit different. So they can, like trace stories and like, well, that works, but this works better. It's different mindsets.
It is different mindsets, but I still think Tony Khan's a fanboy.
We're all fanboys. No matter, even though Vince says he's not a fanboy, he's a fanboy. Regardless, he loves the business.
Oh, he loves the business, but you're not gonna be chilling with him after hours.
He was back in the day. He was
With Hogan.
Hogan, Andre.
Yeah, that was his guys. Hogan,
Yeah.
Andre, whatever. But
He had parties with them constantly before, but then
yeah, little WrestleMania parties, little Christmas parties, whatever. That's it. You do that, but
no,
at just different times. That's what it is. It's different times. Back then, there was no cell phones. You weren't gonna know what was going on back then. It was no. They had some dirt sheets, but it was nothing major to
Well, see, that's
everything come out now.
that's
Listen,
another
but-
problem too.
Back in that day, you literally got away with murder.
Literally.
Yeah,
Literally got away with murder.
Literally.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Okay. You literally got away with murder because you're right. There was no social media back then. There was no immediacy back then. There was no internet back then. You couldn't leave a motel in blank ass Pennsylvania.
You know
Without a
how-
robe.
You know how the Iron Sheik and Hacksaw Jim Duggan got
Got
both
caught.
got fired. Yeah, they were driving down the road together smoking weed, and they got pulled over.
And you know when the public found out about that story? 2 years later.
Yep. Nobody knew.
Nobody knew. Yeah, that's times has changed. It really has. But
Yeah.
It's,
I don't know.
It's breaking. I gotta break the story. I gotta break the story. It's gotta break the story. It's nothing can be kept a secret. That's why, like, when there's like a surprise entrant, in, like the Rumble or anything, like even like surprise debut when nobody knows, it's like everyone's like, oh, why didn't nobody tell anybody? Shut up. Just be surprised for once.
yeah, just be a
If, you know,
fan.
if you're talking about the backstage nature being too open to the public nowadays.
Yeah.
What does that remind John of? It reminds me of the Obama administration, and they want an era of transparency. in their administration. Did that actually happen?
Nope.
No. But the idea was, let's be more transparent with all our decision making, with all our policies, all that stuff. That transparency is, what that means is I can see it. We can see it. We know it. It's not being hidden from us. That's what the news is nowadays. We know everything that's going on backstage. That's transparency. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? That's a whole other freaking topic than just talking about CM Punk today. Okay? But, that's what it is. So if there was less transparency, the people would say, we need more transparency. Yep. Well, guess what, pal? You got it now, and now you say it's too much. So what's it going to be?
It doesn't matter what it is.
What can we do to make you happy as a fan?
Nothing.
Tell you too much, pull back. Like a magician. You ever watch those Fox specials, those 1 hour magician secrets? How did they saw that woman in half? I'll never tell. But if you watch the special, you can find out. Secrets of Pro Wrestling, Harley Race. We know that was you telling everyone how you can scrape. You got a guy in a headlock. You scrape their eyes across the top rope, but that's my thumb holding in front of your eye as I'm running across the top rope. Thank you, Harley Race.
I miss kayfabe. I really do.
I know.
Yeah, you miss kayfabe until you were back in that era, and you're like, I wish I knew more stuff.
Nah, because I enjoyed it for the moment.
That's right. You enjoyed more things back in for me, '96.
Yes.
When Vader bombed Yokozuna's leg into a splint and they had to carry him out on a forklift, that was a heart-wrenching moment for me, man.
That was wrong.
That was tough. Right. That was one of the worst episodes of Monday Night Raw ever. Shawn Michaels at the end of the show. Big Daddy Cold Diesel comes in with a title belt, just smashes Shawn Michaels. And that show ends that way, leading to their pay-per-view match at Good Friends, Better Enemies in Your House, April '96.
And Owen Insaguri, fucking Shawn
Michaels.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on here?
I like that shit. We didn't know. You had to tune in the following week. Like, oh, shit, what's going to happen?
But of course you liked it. You were a kid.
Exactly.
You want to be a kid now?
Sure.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if I want to be a kid anymore.
Boom, you're broke. You ain't got no money because you're a kid and you don't have a job. You
No
like
podcast.
That? Boom, no license. Can't drive your car. Boom, you can't go to McDonald's anytime you want. Sad times.
$2.
Sad
That's all
times.
you need.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Get some McChickens.
Shoot, it's like $3 for a McChicken.
You want a 4-piece? That's $3.09. You want sauce? That's 50 cents extra.
I go to Wendy's and get a $5 Biggie bag.
They closed, homeboy.
It's $7-8 now for that.
They got options now for Biggie bags.
It's a multi-dollar menu now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Everybody's got a price. That's usually $4.09 for 5-piece chicken nuggets. Bye, fair. Woo!
Oh boy.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
So anyway, CM Punk here.
I just love how everything's related to this anyway.
Everything's
Like it
really
does.
is.
We're not talking about CM Punk, but it's all related to CM Punk.
Especially Jay Leno on The Tonight Show.
3 degrees of separation, John. 6
A lot of
degrees.
degrees of separation. See, it reminds me of this. But the whole situation with CM Punk, it's just a sad situation. You have this guy.
It's just basically society mirroring itself all over
It
again.
really is. He's just the wrong gay guy at the wrong company at the wrong time. CM Punk, he didn't belong in AEW. He's not an AEW guy. And much like a lot of people that watch AEW, they're not AEW people. They're WWE people. So stick to your own brand.
Is CM Punk a WWE guy?
I don't think
Well,
so.
that's tough to say.
I don't think so.
He was a Ring of Honor guy that went to WWE, and he had a great career there. And
Do you see him go back to the E?
There's gonna be a big phone call if that happens.
I can see it, but the thing with CM Punk right now, where he goes from here, it's like, dude, you just burned yourself up. You did not look good in this situation at all. You had some reasonable doubt, whatever you call it.
Yeah, that bridge is burnt.
You had some doubt with all that other stuff that happened last year, and with Hangman before that, and then you got injured by jumping into the crowd like an idiot. But this time it's like you had a third, fourth, fifth chance here. You got whatever you wanted. You got your own show. You got the people you did not want to work with away from you. You were given everything that you wanted, and you throw another hissy fit at another wrestler again. What's wrong with you? And I think maybe Kevin Nash said it. It's like, this goes beyond pro wrestling now. There is something wrong with you, CM Punk, psychologically, that you need desperate help with. This goes beyond anything now. And you could blame it on a Hangman being a young guy not accepting advice. You can blame it on Jungle Boy not being disrespectful to his superiors, his elders.
Yes.
You can say those things, and you're not wrong. You know, there are ways to do things, and arguably they did not do them the right way. But CM Punk, with his experience, with his age, with his tenure, with his star power, he should have been a bigger man, and he should have been a bigger person about this whole thing, and not be so sensitive, and not, it's like, Tony Khan is not a physically intimidating person. And you don't have to physically threaten him. And threats come in all, at work, sometimes I take my work gloves that I don't have right now. I take the gloves, and I jokingly, I throw them at somebody. And it's a thing. I'm smiling. It's whatever it is. But technically, that is a threat.
Yeah.
That is assault. And I'm it's a joke, but it is technically considered assault. So CM Punk, in any manner that he did in Wembley, backstage, before the pay-per-view actually occurred, nearly assaulted Tony Khan, threatened Tony Khan, that is unprofessional in a deeper sense than Jungle Boy saying, "Hey, real glass." Who's really unprofessional there? And that's CM Punk.
Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't deserve a sixth chance in pro wrestling in any company. You're done, man. You're done. And, that's really what the show is about. Never mind Jay Leno and Conan and the millennials and this. This show is about CM Punk right now. Just got fired from AEW. Might as well just get fired from pro wrestling as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, you're done, man. You're done.
Yeah.
Basically, John just said, CM Punk, cry me a river.
Oh boy.
Justin Timberlake singing me Cry Me a River. JT,
So
I guess the last wrestling show we'll ever see him on will be on heels.
probably get kicked off that one too.
Hey.
And, you see photos of him randomly hanging out with people, like, the one with like JBL and I think Farouk at like the Cauliflower Alley or something
Yeah,
like
that
that.
was
Like,
recently,
yeah,
last
that
week.
looks nice. He looks fine. I saw a reel of him with like a Make-A-Wish kid or something like that. It's like, that was nice, and he seems like a nice guy, but
You just can't, like you said, you cannot be sensitive to what these young guys are saying or doing. Like, there's sometimes I feel the same way. Like, I want to tell these guys, yo, you shouldn't do that. But you know what? Let them, to each his own. They're going to figure it out on their own. When they go back to you, like, I should have listened. And you just say, hey, I told you.
if CM Punk really was from a previous generation and not the modern generation, if he really is from the older generation, then you're right. He should be thick-skinned as hell, but he's not. It's like someone saying shit to you in an old school way. You just grin and take it,
Yeah.
right?
That's how we were brought
You don't
up.
lash out.
That's unfortunately how we were brought up.
So he's right in the in between. The old way is like, you say something bad to me, I'm gonna punch you in the face. The new way, I'm gonna tell human resources. What's the middle? CM Punk is right in the middle. It's like, do I do it?
I'm going to punch you while I'm calling.
I'll lunge at you. I'll threaten you. That's where CM Punk was at.
I quit. I quit.
I don't know.
My life.
CM Punk, he's done.
Yeah, I think
So I
he's
guess
done.
we're not gonna
He's
see
just
him in
done.
Chicago or Survivor Series.
No, not at all.
Won't see me there either, pal.
He could come out with the real world title,
Oh, jeez.
maybe
about-
against the Universal Champion.
Remember when
No.
he spray painted that belt the first time? He was like, "This is my symbol." I'm like, "Man, that's a symbol for everyone's symbol. That's fucking Rogue's symbol. That's Gambit's symbol. That's Morph's symbol. Because they're all X-Men.
Yes.
97 coming soon, Disney Plus.
Can't wait.
Well, they gave Bishop a haircut. What the hell?
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, indeed.
Oh Lord. CM Punk. You're done, bro.
Yeah, you think so too? What are your final thoughts on CM Punk?
Yeah,
Dom?
I like Punk, but he's burning bridges everywhere. And what's next? Impact?
No.
Nothing. Nothing.
No.
No, Christopher Daniels on Impact as well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, my man's definitely done. Unless you want to go to New Japan.
Wrestling Society X.
I don't even think New Japan's going to deal with that bullshit.
CM Punk is going to be wrestling on cards featuring the likes of Travis Banks, the Kiwi Buzzsaw, and the villain Marty Skrull. That's where CM Punk is headed. That's how exile he's going to be.
Nah, you better not go
Jeez.
to Mexico.
Viva la raza.
They might throw up the X.
Oh, boy.
Might throw up 2 of them. Dos Equis.
I don't know.
Well, you're done with CM Punk too, Dom?
I'll keep on following and see what's going on with the dude. And,
Of course.
But, God, you know, I'm a Punk fan. I like Punk, but come on, man. You're doing too much right now, man. You missed the business for 7 years. You finally came back. You got what you wanted for the fans, but you're basically saying, fuck you, fans, and you're not giving us what we want.
Sadly.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And as a person wearing a half CM Punk T-shirt, Abel, what are your final thoughts on CM Punk?
My thoughts is I hope that like his friends, the guys that support him, don't become collateral damage either. And like these guys, FTR, I know they ride or die with him, but this might be a fight you might want to just stay away from because you guys are really talented, especially Dax, man. You are probably the man soon. If you keep doing what you're doing, I don't want to see anything bad happen to you. Anybody, anyway, but just right now, I'm done with CM Punk for now. For now. Do I want to see him do better? Yeah, I'd never want to see anybody fail or do bad, but you gotta grow up, bro. Like, you gotta let shit go. You can't be sensitive to this shit. Let the guy talk. Who cares? He wants to fucking kill himself? Too bad.
Oh, I'm getting it. News here.
He's trying to prevent you from killing yourself.
I know.
God.
I was reading earlier today that he wanted to come back to this past Royal Rumble and have a little feud with his boy Kevin Owens. That would have been nice to see.
Who?
Punk.
How the hell are you gonna do that?
If they didn't bring him back, he considered it. He wanted to go back to the WWE and have get that one last run.
Do you think he
against
did?
Kevin Owens.
Do you think he did this on purpose now?
So you diss Kevin Owens too.
Who knows?
I mean, who knows? I mean, things happen between people and friends, but I mean, CM Punk and Ace Steel, close friends, right? CM Punk defended Ace Steel to the bone, right? The Second City Saints, CM Punk, Ace Steel, Colt Cabana. They're the three. They're the same. What the fuck happened there?
Yeah.
F-bomb number 2. But I don't know.
I have no idea. But
well, the conclusion of this episode of the It Doesn't Matter podcast is that CM Punk, regardless of who, what, when, where, how, and why, at least this show, we are done with you, sir.
For now, until the foreseeable future,
Yeah.
CM Punk, vamos.
The next time, CM Punk, I will see you when I sell your action figure on eBay for top dollar. Hit row.
well, this episode sucked. I'm sober, drinking this fucking Mountain Dew.
Hey, I gotta recycle that.
But until then, we will see you guys next week. I'm the Notorious One. I'm here with Poppy Platino. I'm here with Mr. Adequate, Mr. Small Package, Mr. John Lee. See you soon.
Boom.